this movie gets really, really dark. It's the Virgin Suicides. Now, in the Virgin Suicides, it's this family is open. They're willing to have their daughters out and about, and the dad's somewhat protective because, of course, until their daughter Cecilia slits her wrist, tries to kill herself, and they're like, oh, you know what? We're going to throw a party, and you're going to be socializing, and you're going to be better. Said nobody ever. And when the party happens, she falls out of the window by accident and dies by falling on the fence. And then following her death, the parents just they want to become secluded. They want to become, hey, listen, you're not leaving this house because we don't want you to die like your sister. In which that wasn't the case at all. But the boys, there's these 5 boys that are very fascinated by this. And they sit across the house and they watch them. And they're like, this is a very fascinating family. And it's a little stalkerish. But they sit across the street and they're like, we should get their attention. We'll get their attention by giving them music. So they give them music and they give them gifts and stuff. And they start getting their attention until one day, Lux, who's the other sister, there's 5 sisters, sneaks out. She likes to sneak out and hang out with the guys. And then she becomes late from the dance. And when she's late from the dance, her mother and her father just go full lockdown mode and say, nobody's allowed in or out. You can't go nowhere. We're going to homeschool you. And that's when the house gets into disrepair. It starts to become super sad. And when you do that, the house becomes decay and isolation. And the girls try to reach out for the boys for help. And as soon as the boys try to come in and try to rescue them and get them out of the house, the guys come in and see that all of the girls besides one has committed suicide. And you're like, wow, that's a very dark. And apparently the book is even darker. So should I read the book? Well, hopefully I'm not going to. But Mary, who is the one sister, survives her suicide. But everybody seems like, they're isolating her. They're like, oh, she's dead. And she's like, well, I'm not dead, I'm here. But people isolate her because, good question, I don't know. But then a year goes by and she decides to overdose on pills. And all of this is voiced over by the boys who have become middle-aged and are talking about this story. And the story is very cool in some parts. It shows how helicopter parenting doesn't work. Isolating people doesn't work. After your sister kills themselves, don't throw a block party after attempting it. Don't do that. Give them attention so that way, they're not going to do it again. Or at least, watch them next to the window so they don't fall and hit the fence and die. But the way it shows them progress, it shows the progression of, okay, now it's going to be lockdown, and then it starts to progress of, oh, everybody's starting to become depressed, and this and that, and then they're like, hey, listen, we need help. Those boys across the street are actually really like us. Let's go ask them for help. And they ask them for help, but the boys are too late, and they kill themselves. And is it sad? It's a little sad. But if I told you the people in this movie were A-list actors, you wouldn't know it because they act like A-list actors. But back in the day, you didn't know who they were. Kirsten Dunst is in this movie. And this was I think before or after Vampire, the vampire movie that she was in. But I just like how they did that. They went from sister suicide to she's late for a curfew, so we're gonna lock this down. And then the mother, after locking her down, you can see she somewhat regrets it after she locks it down, but the father accepts it. And but then you see it progress from they love it to then the daughters, they start hating it, to then it becomes isolation, to then it becomes depression, and then yeah. I perceive this movie as pretty much depression. Also, Francis Ford Coppola's daughter directed this movie, and this is one of her good movies. The rest of her movies I've never really seen. But let me know what you think about this movie in the comments. Is it a good movie to you? Do you like it? I liked it. I'll give it like a 8 out of 10, maybe 8.5 out of 10. Let me know in the comments.